Hi folks, Rahul here from MySmartPrice again. It's time for another detailed review. Chinese smartphone manufacturer Meizu has finally made its entry into the Indian market earlier this month with the launch of the M1 Note. Let us find out if the M1 Note deserves to be your next phablet in this detailed review. As usual, we start off with the design of the phone. At first glance, the M1 Note has an uncanny resemblance to the Apple iPhone 5C. The non-removable polycarbonate rear panel is glossy and slippery. The front fascia is dominated by the 5.5-inch 1080p display. On the right side are the volume control keys, while the power button has been placed on the top. The speaker is at the bottom and next to it is the micro USB port. The standard 3.5mm audio port rests on the top. The phone has two microphones, one at the bottom and the other at the top. The M1 Note measures 8.9mm thick and weighs 145 grams. The phone sports a unibody design, and for the same reason you are stuck with a non-removable battery. Moving on to the hardware, the 5.5-inch display on the Meizu M1 Note is made using IXO touchscreen technology and also bears Corning Gorilla Glass 3 protection. The Full HD panel gives it a PPI density of 403. The phone is powered by an octa-core 1.7 GHz MediaTek MT6752 mobile chipset, which is based on ARM Cortex-A53 mobile processor. The chipset features the Mali T760 GPU for graphics power. Packing 2 GB of RAM, the Indian unit is sold with 16 GB of onboard storage. Out of that, only 11 GB is available to the user. No memory card slot is offered. The M1 Note also features an accelerometer, a gyroscope as well as the proximity and e-commerce sensors into the phone to aid several apps. Connectivity wise, the phone supports dual band Wi-Fi A, B, G and N. Wi-Fi Direct and Bluetooth 4.0 low energy are also supported. Location-based services are taken care of with the integrated GPS chip with support for AGPS and GLONASS. The phone has two micro SIM modules. The SIM one supports 4G LTE networks and the phone supports only one Indian FDD LTE 1800 MHz band and lacks the support for TD LTE 2300 MHz band for 4G. The second SIM supports only a 2G network, which might be a demerit for a few folks. Moving on to the software, the Meizu M1 Note runs a self-developed user interface dubbed as the Flame OS on top of Android 4.4.4 KitKat. Following the path of other Chinese vendors, Meizu too refuses to provide an app drawer on the phone out of the box. Basic functions such as quick settings and notifications tray are retained but have been redesigned. For instance, only 5 circular toggle buttons are visible at a time. The different home screens have a letter assigned to each of them. The settings app resembles the user interface of a tablet. The display option has several sub-options to adjust the brightness and temperature, along with a sleep timer and an unusual dynamic blurring setting. When this dynamic blurring is activated, it blurs the background, making the text more prominent. However, this heavily drains your battery life. The Meizu packs select apps such as music, video, files, email, calendar, calculator and personalize on one home screen. Thankfully, no games or unwanted third-party apps come pre-installed. The phone supports double tap to wake up as well. A long press on the capacitive home key locks the device. The phone can also be unlocked with a simple upward swipe. With barely any lags, the software experience was zippy and sometimes reminded us of Apple's iOS. The only aspect of the software which we found cumbersome was the triangular back button that is integrated into the system UI. It is visible when any app is launched. This ends up wasting a lot of space as it is the only button on the menu bar. If this button is turned into a vector icon with a transparent background, then you can enjoy a better full screen view. Moving on to the multimedia capability of the phone, the music app on the M1 Note sports a very minimalistic design. You can easily play a variety of audio file formats out of the box through this app. The integrated software equalizer, however, makes the default sound worse. The direct HD sound implementation is useful only if you own one of the listed pair of headphones, for the sound is customized according to those. The audio output of the M1 Note is underwhelming. The speakers at the bottom deliver low sound output, making even ringtones barely audible at times. Music playback is also not very pleasant through the speakers. We used several pairs of headphones, but the music playback quality was surprisingly under average. The video player app can easily play a wide variety of formats. 4K video playback is not supported out of the box. Some jitters were visible at times while playing a fast action 1080p movie, but it worked perfectly well when watching animation movies. The dedicated video player can play 720p and 1080p videos in various file formats including FLV and MKV. There is no radio app, so you'll have to rely on internet radio or stream apps such as Sawan or Gaana and many others. Moving on to the camera, the Meizu M1 Note uses a 13 megapixel Samsung image sensor to boost the imaging department. The camera app user interface is pretty simple to use. It comes with side scrollable modes. Still images taken with this camera deliver a great level of detail. In most of the images taken using the M1 Note, the contrast levels are quite good. The camera is capable of offering a reasonable dynamic range, and low light images can also end up bright if you know your way around manual controls. The camera app also comes with a manual mode which gives users more control over the ISO settings, focal length, shutter speed and exposure control. The countdown timer for 3, 5 and 10 second intervals are available. A couple of real-time filters are also present along with the beauty mode. The front-facing camera takes decent images which you can edit with the Beautify app and share over social networks. Here are a few image samples. Full HD videos can be recorded at 30 fps. The phone supports slow motion videos but in VGA resolution. Also note that the audio in video files is recorded in mono. All in all, delivering great quality still images with minimal noise and ample details, this smartphone certainly has one of the best cameras in the sub 15,000 rupee segment. The MediaTek chipset and 2GB RAM combination works perfectly well to drive the Flame OS without much jitter or hiccup. HD games with 3D graphics can be enjoyed thoroughly. The M1 Note allows you to play most of the casual and less graphic intensive games on it with ease. Voice calls are clear on both ends. The active noise cancelling microphone makes it easier to talk even in crowded areas. The phone works smoothly with 3G networks, but it takes a while to latch on to 4G networks. However, the signal strength is not as good on some other devices. Moving on to the battery setting has power saving, balance and high performance modes. Packing a massive 3140 mAh battery, the phone easily lasts for more than 1.5 days even after a couple of hours worth of calls, light gaming, listening to music, web browsing, texting, taking images and using social media networking apps. The M1 Note takes about 3 hours for a complete charge with a 5V 2A charger bundled along. The Meizu M1 Note is a power-packed phablet which offers a great screen, competitive hardware and good battery life, making it an overall decent package to own. If you are looking for a large screen Full HD phablet under Rs 12,000, then the Meizu M1 Note makes for a great choice. That was a detailed look at the M1 Note from Meizu. In case you have any queries regarding this phone, please let us know in the comment section below. This was Rahul Srinivas signing off for MySmartPrice.